Greetings, friends. It's Josh.
And I'm Ryan.
And we're here today for another episode of the Dead Tired Dads podcast.
A podcast for gamers who don't have time to game.
And that's what we're here for, gaming. Even
Yes.
though we don't have time for it. But we're here to do it.
True.
So, Ryan, I've got... Something weird happened the other day.
Okay, I like weird.
I'm walking through Walmart, and I notice...
A good place for weird.
Yeah.
For starters.
It wasn't someone there. It was a product that I stole.
Oh, okay.
So, like, they now have Fruity Pebbles with marshmallows.
I wish you guys could see my face. I'm very confused.
So, I like Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah,
like,
they're delicious.
I love Fruity Pebbles. Even though they're fruit flavored. F-R-O-O-T. Fruit flavored.
True.
But, I like Fruity Pebbles. I don't know, like, I just always have. But, I felt compelled to buy this box of Fruity Pebbles with marshmallows. And so I got home and I made myself a bowl, but it made me realize that, like, the marshmallows that are in cereal, like, who are they, how are they getting away with calling those things marshmallows?
Oh, I think I can answer this.
Okay.
Those are either dehydrated or freeze-dried marshmallows.
Yeah.
And the only reason I can answer that is because of my other hobby that I've answered before, or talked about before on this podcast, which is hunting. So I do a lot of freeze-drying, or not freeze-drying, I do a lot of dehydrating of my own meals.
Right.
So that I can carry them with me when
Sure.
I'm out in the woods. So I think that's what those are. I think they're freeze-dried, though. I don't think they're dehydrated.
But, like, how, like, I don't know how they have duped millions of children into believing that, like, you're getting cereal with, like, there's marshmallows
Those are
in these
absolutely
cereals.
not standard
And
marshmallows.
it's like, these are not, like, these are, like, just little, and they're, like, sugar, and they're good.
Yep.
But, like, it just seems like a weird thing to me. Like,
It is kind of strange.
like, I don't know. Like, marshmallows, like, cereal marshmallows to me are, like, ever since this, like, experience that I had eating Fruity Pebbles with marshmallows,
Yeah.
like, cereal marshmallows are, like, ruined now. Because I'm like, I've been lied to my entire life.
This is a lie.
These aren't really marshmallows.
It's the same as, like, the little tiny marshmallows in, like hot cocoa packets.
Yeah.
They're just, like, freeze-dried, and then when they touch the hot water or hot milk, they sort of become marshmallows, but not really.
But even, like, so, like, the ones in the cereal, though, like, they stay, like, crispy.
Yeah, they're crunchy.
Like, I don't know. Like, it's just this weird, like, it was just a weird thing.
Yeah.
To me.
It is weird.
And kids are, like I said, like, millions of children have been duped into believing that, like,
You know what?
they're getting cereal with marshmallows. And I guess technically it is, I guess. It's just sugar.
It's
like
exactly.
compounded
It's because
sugar.
as kids, like, and even as an adult, it's like, I don't care. Just give me the sugar. Okay? Call it whatever you want. Just give me the sugar.
And I don't know, like, I don't know. It just struck me as an odd thing.
It is odd because I can literally say I've never thought about it until now. Until you mentioned it. Like,
I know.
I've just taken it for granted that those are marshmallows. When they're I mean, they probably are, but they're not. They're freeze-dried or dehydrated or something to the point where they're not really marshmallows anymore.
Right.
They're a new thing.
Yeah, it's a completely different thing, and it's the thing is, like, that's the selling point for the cereal.
Yeah, it's not
the
like
cereal has marshmallows.
It's like so
in
special that it's with marshmallows.
Yeah, it's like
no, it's not.
But on the other hand, like, I'm noticing, like, more and more cereals are doing this now. Like, do we need Fruity Pebbles with marshmallows?
No, because Fruity Pebbles are delicious all by themselves.
Apparently we do, because I bought them.
Listen.
Because I wanted to experience Fruity Pebbles with marshmallows.
They tricked you.
For some reason,
with the
like,
marshmallows.
because that's the selling point. It has marshmallows in it.
Listen, if they start putting marshmallows in Reese's Puffs cereals, I'm going to riot, okay? Don't ruin Reese's Puffs. Don't do it.
See, I love Reese's. I love cereal.
Not that one, though.
I don't like Reese's Puff cereal.
It's so good.
It's not.
It's not, though.
It's not.
I love it. My wife like literally makes fun of me for liking it. She's
Okay.
like, "That's just not good." Yes,
I tell you what cereal I do like though is French Toast Crunch.
Yeah, heck
Like
yeah.
I remember when they canceled French Toast Crunch and it was like gone for like a decade
Terrible.
or more, like 15 years. I don't know how long it was gone for.
Yeah.
Forever. I didn't have it in high school or college. I know that.
That's too long.
And then like they came back with it and I was like, yes. And then I bought a box and I was disappointed.
Yep, it happens sometimes.
I was like, this isn't as good as I
This is
remember.
not what I thought it was.
It's not as good as I remember. It's still good. But so what?
It happens.
So your favorite cereal is Reese's Puffs?
I think so. Yeah.
You think so?
It's kind of like I mentioned this way back when we did the Halloween episode.
Yeah.
I've just really never met a sweet treat of any kind that I don't like. I mean, chocolate candy, fruit flavored candy, chewy candy, hard candy. It's kind of the same with cereal, like chocolate cereal, fruity cereal, just all of it. I just like it all. But I probably, if I had to choose one, it'd be Reese's.
So I'm trying to think like when. So my favorite cereal is Captain Crunch, and I'm trying to think back to like when, like, my cereal palate was established. Like at what point did like, because I know like I didn't have Captain Crunch a whole lot when I was growing up. Like it wasn't a cereal that my parents bought.
Right.
So like I don't. So like when my kids get older, like what's going to be their favorite cereal?
Yeah.
Is it going to be something that I enjoyed because and they had it or is it going to be something that they discover somewhere else?
How does that happen? Because obviously, as parents, we're not buying all that like crazy sugar coated junk for our kid. Like the only cereal we ever have at our house is Honey Nut Cheerios. Is like the wildest thing our kids eat in terms of breakfast. So when does that happen? Like,
so I get my kid I get sugary sweet cereals and my kids have it, but I mean,
is that for
at least
you?
At least my daughter has it.
But is that for? Do you buy it going? Oh yeah, I'm getting this for my daughter,
Oh
or do
no,
you buy this?
Absolutely
This is
not.
for Dad.
Like it's always for me. Like always for me. Like
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. Like we don't buy it for our kids.
But of course they have it. Like they see the box and they
Nah.
see I want that. Like, but yeah, I'm just trying to. Like I said, I was trying to think like when did my cereal palate kind of become established? And I don't know.
I don't know either.
I know that I've liked Fruity Pebbles for a long time. Like that's been one that I can like point back to like history in my life and be like I have liked Fruity Pebbles since I was like very small.
I think my other it's a toss up for me. It's either Reese's Puffs or Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is a solid
love
choice.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Speaking of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, there is a coffee shop here in town that I go to frequently. They have a cinnamon toast latte.
Yes.
That is absolutely amazing.
Is that the one that you and I met at one
Yes.
time? And I had I think
Yes.
I had the Reese's
Oh yeah,
latte.
you probably did. Probably
yeah,
so.
the Reese's latte. I have no doubt in believing that cinnamon toast
Coffee at Oak and Main if you're
Yeah,
in the
that
area.
place is awesome.
Coffee at Oak and Main.
Yes.
There's another sponsorship
Boom.
opportunity for us.
How long did it take us, Josh, before we started name dropping?
Let's see. We are
How far in?
we are like 7 minutes into the episode.
All right,
8
next
minutes
week.
maybe.
Next week, our new
So.
record is 7 minutes or less.
Sorry, we will eventually stop trying to get
No,
sponsorships.
we will not. Josh might, but I won't.
It's gonna just like this is just gonna become a joke now. This is a running gag.
People are going to be expecting us to name drop things.
Yeah. But no, if you're in the area, if you come into the area to visit, Coffee at Oak and Main.
Yep, good stuff.
Go see them.
Friendly staff and delicious coffee. That's what my experience was. So
yeah. Anyway, that was my topic of discussion that I had.
It's a good
for,
topic.
Like interesting stuff with cereals.
It's a good topic.
Kids are weird.
Kids are weird. Yeah.
And they
True.
like weird things, when cereal companies lie to them about marshmallows. I shouldn't go on this tangent, but I'm going to. When I was in high school, there was a blog site that was called Zanga that
I kind of remember that.
I got involved with all of my friends, and I wrote all kinds of blog just stupid blog posts, but Yeah, I'm sure, cringeworthy stuff for sure.
No, that's probably gold.
But
you gotta find it.
There is actually one thing that I saved from that blog that I thought was absolutely amazing about how breakfast cereals were actually, and breakfast commercials in particular, were all subliminal messaging about drug addiction.
Yes. I told you it was gold. I knew it.
The slogan for Captain Crunch at the time was "Crunchitize me, Captain," and it's like, I got to get crunchitized, man.
Yeah.
And then what was another one? There were these Pop-Tart commercials that they had where the Pop-Tarts would eat each other because they tasted so good. It's like, this is like promoting cannibalism. Yep. Like, this is all like,
devour your friends.
Yeah.
It's okay.
The honeycomb one. That's what it was.
Honeycombs. I loved honeycombs.
Honeycomb's a great cereal. But so there were these honeycomb commercials where if like the kid didn't get his honeycomb, he turned into this little like furry like animal.
I remember that.
Me want honeycomb, and like it's like, can you describe withdrawal any better?
I remember those. That's great.
Yeah. So that was. The cereal companies are also trying to send your kids subliminal messages. Anyway, we're here to talk about video games.
That is our alleged point, yes.
We're going to review some games. Ryan, what have you got for us this week?
Oh, boy. Josh, I got one.
You got one.
Okay, so you know how, like, a few weeks ago, you played a couple games, and it was sort of based on, like, you read the title, and you're like, I got to try it.
Yeah.
You did it with Wreckfest, I think.
Wreckfest, yes.
I saw a title, because I mentioned last week I have Game Pass. I have an Xbox for a few weeks.
Right.
And I saw a title on Game Pass, and I was like, obviously I have to try that game. This game is called Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator.
Okay, then.
Oh, gosh. Let me repeat that. The title of this game is Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator. We're not talking about organs like the instrument that you play at church either.
I thought it was going organ. I thought you were going like Oregon Trail, and I was like, no, organ trading. Okay,
we're talking black market organ trading.
Okay.
I usually give like a summary or like the gist of the game is.
I think I can figure it
out. The title says it all. You don't need any explanation of what this game is. Wow. You are an alien who is trying to work your way up the ranks to be like this space warlord who traffics in other aliens' organs. That's the game. That is the whole game.
Okay then. Can you dig it?
It's like the graphics are like very 1980s arcade vibe.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I really don't even know like what to say about this game. I mean,
it sounds incredible.
It's hilarious, but also like I feel bad for thinking it's hilarious.
Oh sure, it's the Maneater. It's the
Maneater
exactly, complex.
Exactly. It's like this should not be as funny as it is.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do like a normal review, like I would do. The time investment is blah blah blah, but I just can't.
You can't.
The way the game works is you get like these requests on your like little spaceship like readout. Like a request will pop up like this alien on this planet needs a kidney or whatever. They're willing to pay this much for it. And then you can click this little button that tells the market to open. And then when the market opens, it's just 2 minutes of chaos because like people, it's other like it's you're not playing against people, but it's NPCs.
Sure,
it's the computer. You're all like bidding on various organs. It's just chaos. It took me a while to figure out what was going on because I was like, all I know is that guy needs a kidney and he's going to pay me this much for it, so I want to buy it for less.
Less than that,
yeah.
Right.
It's definitely not a game I would have paid for. Like, I had a lot of fun just kind of laughing and goofing off. It's a perfect Game Pass game because like,
right.
if there is such a thing as finishing this game, I'm never gonna finish it because there can't be that much of a story. Like,
I mean,
this game is what it is, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, I saw the title and I was like, how do I not play that?
Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator?
That's it. You got it.
Okay.
It's funny. It can get a little repetitive because after a while it's like you're just doing the same thing. Like, you get requests, you let the market open, you start buying stuff.
Right.
I will share one funny story that kind of will let you know like the family friendliness. So like in terms of family friendliness, you don't see anything. It's almost exclusively text driven.
Sure, right.
If your kids can read, this is not family friendly.
Yeah.
If they can't, you're fine.
Yeah.
They can't read yet. But if they can read, which my oldest now can, do not play this in front of them. Luckily, he wasn't in the room, but I had this interaction where basically one of the aliens could not afford to pay for the organ, so he was going to trade me drugs for the organ.
Okay.
I can't remember what the drugs were called, but the way he described it, it sounded like their space alien version of cocaine.
Okay.
So, like, yeah.
Space cocaine.
Space cocaine. So that will give you an idea of like.
So it's like space cowboys and cocaine cowboys all in
just,
one thing. Okay.
It's so wild. Like I don't know what to make of this game. I really don't. Like, it's funny if you want a good laugh.
Yeah. Sounds intriguing.
Seems like it would get repetitive after a while. But if you just.
Not a game to pay for, but maybe a game to play.
Yeah, like very much worth playing. Like, to me, what it was perfect for is, I mentioned last week, I finished Halo Reach. I was sort of in between games. I didn't want to play the other game, or I didn't want to start the next Halo yet, so I was looking to just kill like 30 or 45 minutes, and that's how I found it. Yeah, so I saw the title and I had to play it.
Yeah,
I mean, how could I pass it by?
That sounds about right. So
yeah.
Anything else on?
That's pretty much it. I mean, like I said, oh no, there is one more thing. There is one more thing. I was reading an article about it in preparation for this episode, and I saw, and I'd have to, maybe I can find it and we can put it in the show notes or something, or we can try.
Yeah.
But basically, the gist of this article was like the person who wrote a review for it, tried his hardest to play the game as a good guy, like as a philanthropist, like only helping people in need. And the way that he like had to navigate it was pretty funny.
That's
so
funny.
If I can find it, I'll
Yeah.
share it in the show notes. But
all right. Well, I too have a game from Game Pass.
Look at that.
Go figure.
Go figure.
So now that Ryan has Game Pass, guess what we're going like? Game Pass is going to be our exclusive.
The next 2 months will feature only Game Pass games.
Exclusively Game Pass games. So I played a game called Human Fall Flat.
Human Fall Flat. All right.
And it's exactly what it sounds like. You're a little humanoid blob that falls over very easily and has to complete different puzzle courses to fall, like, and at the end of every course you fall off of the level and land flat on the next level. So
nice.
This was an interesting game to play. I don't it's intentionally complicated. Like the way that you have to move, like you have to, it's hard to describe. But there was a game that came out. It was like a flash game in the early or late 2000s, like just before 2010. I remember playing it in college, so maybe it was 2010 because that was my senior year. But it was called QWOP, QWOP, QWOP.
QWOP. And
you were a racehorse, and Q moved your right leg, W moved your left leg,
Yep.
O moved your back left leg. P moved your back right leg. And you had to get the horse, like you had to get the horse to move as far as you could without falling over.
Yeah.
It was impossible.
No,
it was one of like the first like rage quit games that like
everybody's got them.
There was a there was actually a guy who like became famous because like of this game. Like he played this game, recorded himself playing it, and was like, "This is stupid!" Like, and he just like
viral.
Like yeah.
Love it.
He actually ended up getting picked up by like a big he started working for a bigger video game video company. Rooster Teeth, for those of you who know them.
There you
go. So yeah, that's kind of the same vibe that you get, where it's just like the controls are intentionally convoluted and complicated to make the puzzles more, and like you have to like stick your hands to things, and like in order to move stuff you have to like stick to it and move like one way, and I don't know. It's a weird game. And I thought like at first I was like getting into it and I was like, okay, this is fun. And like this is, but as the puzzles become more complicated, like it just gets annoying.
You lose the fun.
It like loses all of the fun value, and it becomes very annoying. And so it's got me thinking. I feel like, so overall, it's family friendly. Not a lot of time investment necessarily, but and if you've got Game Pass, it's free.
Game Pass.
I 100% would not pay any money for this game. Now, I have since discovered, like, since this was just the original. Apparently, like, this is actually a really popular series.
Huh.
Like, I don't know how. Like, to me, it's just annoying. So if you like the series, good on you. For me, it just was not a thing. It wasn't something that I felt like was worth my time. Because I found myself frustrated, and as I've talked about before, like frustration is not something that I'm not looking to be frustrated.
It's not what we're here for.
But it got me thinking, like, why would there be like this draw to these games? Like, why are people playing this? And I've talked about when I did my review of Kill It With Fire. Mm-hmm. I talked a little bit about this phenomenon that we've got going on of where games are basically being designed now to be shown. Like, I could see, this is a game that I could see being absolutely hilarious to watch someone try to like figure out and be frustrated with. Like, it'd be 100% something really funny to watch someone else do. Not something fun for you to play, but fun for you to watch someone figure out and play. And so, like, it sounds to me like the Space Cowboy Harvester.
Yes, that one.
The one that you just reviewed, whose names is Organ Trading, is kind of the same thing. And so there's this trend in gaming that I'm starting to kind of notice, where it's like games are intentionally being designed that it's not fun necessarily for someone to play, but it's fun for people to watch, so that it's a streaming game. Like, and that's kind of the vibe that I get off of Human Fall Flat, and I think that's probably the kind of vibe. It's not meant to be a game that you're going to pour tons and tons of time into. It's a game that you're going to play for 2 or 3 hours, get a bunch of content on, and never touch again. Like, you're going to play it, you're going to record yourself playing it and being frustrated so that people will laugh at you and give you likes and clicks, and and then you'll move on to your next game. Right. And that's kind of the vibe that I get from it. And I wonder, like, part of me wonders if that's kind of the same kind of thing that game that you did was as well.
I could see that working. The only difficulty, I think, would be the one I mentioned is all, like, it's exclusively text driven.
Okay.
So the challenge with streaming would be like,
okay, maybe not then.
You're not hearing anything other than like the music. So if you're not like reading it, or if I'm reading it faster and I click through, then you miss out. But there still would be a lot of humor, like the guy offering me drugs for organs.
Right, and that's what made me think that, like, if there's like that kind of humor and stuff in that, that.
Yep.
So So that's one of the things with Game Pass, I guess, that kind of, if you are if you're thinking about getting into streaming, or like there's a ton of content out, available, and like I said, I talked about it with Kill It With Fire. Like that game's a ton of fun to play, but also like the fun in that is 100% like watching someone else play that would 100% be totally worth, doing.
I was being entertained watching you play.
Right.
Like you running around like shooting at stuff
and so with Human Fall Flat, I think that's kind of the same vibe that they were doing. That it was really hey, this is going to be a great game to make people watch, and I wonder if that like becomes like if there are more. I'm sure there are tons of games out there that are like that are just like, hey, let's just make a game that we know people will play and people will stream and people will watch, and then because people watched it, be played, they'll buy it and then they'll try to stream it and or and so forth and so on. But for just a game to play, to me it's not worth your time. It's just frustrating and definitely not worth your money.
There you go.
Would not pay any money for that. So
there you go. So 2 games this week that we would not pay for.
Yeah. But, it could be worth playing. Like I said, I got a little bit of fun out of it. Like for about like an hour or so that I was playing it, that it was like, okay, this is goofy and fun, but like after a little bit of time, I was just like, okay, nope, I'm done. Like this is just dull and boring, and it got kind of repetitive. And maybe again, this is one of those situations that like, maybe I didn't give it enough of a chance. Maybe if I had played it for longer, but
something I just thought of when I mentioned, like we both mentioned, not something we'd pay for. Something I thought of is with obviously it's on Game Pass, but there's another thing with Steam where they'll sometimes do like 10 games for $1 or whatever those various bundles are. So that could be another thing, like if you get these 10 games and you're like, what is Space Warlord, Organ Trading, or whatever. I could see it being a thing where it's like, oh, I got these 10 games for $2. Yeah, give it a try. Have some fun.
Right.
Yeah.
But, and I had something that I had thought about, and now I can't remember it. Oh well. So yeah, that's, crap. It's too bad, because it was a good thought. That's the second time that's happened on this podcast.
It was going to be how you're going to start streaming all your games on Twitch.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. I guess I could, but no one will watch.
Yeah, there's that.
I guess they could, but no one will.
But
shoot, it's going to drive me crazy now.
While you're trying to think of it, I do have a question.
Okay.
Do you happen to know, and if you don't, it's okay. I'm just curious because I saw a game that was played that sounded a lot like yours. Do you happen to know what the other... You mentioned it was like in a line of games. Are they all called...
Yeah, it's like Human Fall Flat Laboratory or whatever.
Okay.
Like it was just something that I realized like after the fact that there are these other like iterations.
Yeah.
Where it's like you're in different settings and stuff like that.
Okay.
But I did just remember.
Boom.
So, the other thing about Game Pass that I've come up against is at least with PC. And I assume that it's eventually the same thing with Xbox, but like, it's great that you get all these free games, but like, if you're someone who like just likes to like keep games around,
no,
it doesn't work because you run out of memory.
You run out of space pretty quick.
Like, so I ended up having to like go through and like delete a bunch of like. So I no longer have Human Human Fall Flat was already a casualty. Like
gotta make room
for me to play other games. I was like, nope, this is not worth my time.
Yeah.
Or the space on my computer. So that's.
I haven't gotten to try it yet. But I've got a few games like when you're looking through Game Pass, you know how you can mark it as like for play later or whatever.
Right.
I marked a few that I want to play later that I found them specifically in the section that like is allegedly like these games are good for cloud gaming.
Okay.
So I'm interested to try some of those because those are a situation where I don't have to.
You don't have to download it. Right.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see how that goes, but I haven't had a chance yet. So.
And then I'll do a bonus review here, just real quick.
Do it.
Because you mentioned that your game was a game that you played just because of the name of the game.
Title
basically.
alone.
I had one like that as well that I kind of thought would be fun. but it's called Cluster Truck.
I saw that one.
Cluster Truck.
I almost played it because of the title.
Yeah. No, don't.
Don't?
This is basically a mobile game that they put onto the console, and it's like,
yeah,
it's stupid. I was very disappointed. Like with a name like Cluster Truck, how could you go?
It's gotta
wrong?
Be fun.
But no, like you think you're driving trucks. No, you're running across the top. Like so, you're like your character. It's all in like first person view, and you're like trying to jump from truck to truck to get to the goal.
That's dumb.
It's a stupid game. So
I've noticed like quite a few. I've noticed more and more like the basically putting what is essentially mobile games on consoles, and I'm not a fan of it because I am 100% for mobile gaming.
Right.
But that's what my cell phone is for,
right.
Or my tablet. Like I don't want it on my.
I don't want to. I want I don't want to make phone calls with my phone. My phone is for playing video games.
Exactly. Who wants to call people on your phone? No.
But no. So Cluster Truck bonus review. I'm not even going to give it any time.
There it is.
Don't waste it. Don't waste space or time or energy downloading it.
Good, you saved me time.
Yeah, it's not worth it. It's stupid.
It's a shame because I did see that title.
Yeah. Well, and it kind of makes you wonder about like. So we've done a lot of reviews on Game Pass lately, but like obviously every game on there like can't be a winner.
They can't all be good. Yeah. I'm noticing with Game Pass. Because what I'm doing is like maybe every few days I'll check and see if they've added anything or like what's coming. I'm noticing I'm not seeing a lot of like middle ground.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of like Halo, Mass Effect, Dragon Age, big stuff like that, or Cluster Truck, Space Warlord, Organ Trader. Like there's not a lot of like middle ground. There is some like the one I talked about last week. I think Stardew Valley's on there, but there's some, but there's not much.
Not a lot. So
yeah.
Anyway, take for that what you will. That's gonna wrap us up for this episode of the Dead Tired Dads podcast. Thanks so much for listening, and you should do all of the things.
Do all the things
as usual. Like, comment, share. Please share. Please
tell everyone. You know.
Tell people that you like our podcast and you think we are funny.
Yeah.
Because we are funny.
That's
we laugh.
True. We are. It's an undeniable fact. 100% of the people in this room think we're funny, Josh. So, I mean...
Anyway, thanks a lot. We'll catch you guys next time.
Bye.